Storyblocks Audio.
Check, check. Check, check. Test mic check.
Storyblocks Audio. Storyblocks Audio. Storyblocks Audio. Storyblocks Audio. Storyblocks Audio. Storyblocks Audio. Storyblocks Audio.
Welcome to the Choose to Change 90-Day Reentry Program. If you're new here or a visitor, we welcome you and we are glad you are here. Many of us walked into these rooms not knowing what to expect, but many of us stayed because we saw real people with real problems who had real hope. This 90-day reentry program is a self-supporting Christian group. There are no dues or fees to attend a class, but we do encourage donations from our members and anyone who believes in what we are doing. The only requirement for membership is a sincere desire to change. So if you're ready to change your life, then you're in the right place. Through this program, you will learn the tools and resources to finally change your life forever. And let me turn my phone down. And a relationship-based support system to keep you going. For many of us, that's why you need to do that before at night. I usually do it. For many of us, there's no easy way out of the mess we created in our lives, even if it wasn't your fault. But sometimes it was your fault. The good news is there is a way out if you choose to believe in the impossible. Gentlemen, my name is Frank Salazar. I'm a member of the Choose to Change Foundation since June 11, 2015. My anniversary is coming up next month. Ever since I walked into this room, that Orlando began to challenge me. And not just me, but he's challenged many different men who've come in and out of the doors. And tonight we have one of those men who was challenged by Orlando, a product of the Choose to Change Foundation program that we offer here. Let's have a round of applause for Juan Pena, a friend to Choose to Change, a friend to Orlando Salinas, and a friend to me and to everyone here. Let's give him a round of applause.
Frank. All right, how you guys doing this evening? All right. Let's get a few things here situated. All right. Well, like I said, guys, my name is Juan Pena. I've known Orlando since 2003. A ver, 2003? Yeah, 2002, 2003. About that time is when I had the privilege of getting to know who Orlando Salinas was. And, just tell you a little bit about me. My name is Juan Pena. I'm from the Valley. I grew up here in the Valley. At this time in my life, I was just talking to the brother here, man, before we started the class, and I was just telling him how grateful I was. I woke up today just being so grateful of what's going on in my life at this time. I was getting up this morning just like I do every morning, guys. Getting my shoes together and everything. And I have a daughter that's about to get married in January, and so she's living with me still, but she's already engaged, so she's in that process and stuff. So I got 5 kids, brother. And she's one of the middle ones, and so I'm kind of as a dad now, and being with my family, I'm kind of like, I already married one daughter. They're actually in Europe right now, my daughter and her husband, and they're missionaries, so they're doing the work of God over there at this time. The reason I mention that is that I'm actually tying my shoes. I'm there sitting down, I'm getting ready. Got my music of, I listen to Christian music in the morning, getting ready and stuff, and she pops by me in the morning. I'm sitting there where I sit usually in my room. She's like, "Hey, Dad." She knocks. She's like, "Hey, guess what I found?" I said, "What'd you find?" She said, "Check out this picture." She got me a picture. It's a Polaroid from back in the day. You had to go develop them, remember? And I said, "Let me see that." And it was a picture of the car 25 years ago, about 25 years ago. And I can see her in the car seat. And my other daughter, Lorena, is right, trying to come out of the car, and she's like right there. And then my other son, Joey, he's right behind them. So they're probably about 4 years old, 2 years old, and 1 year old. They're all back to back, right? And they're all like, "Hey," like that, right? And the reason I'm talking about that picture is because as I'm looking at that picture, that was the day that I got out. 25 years ago. Almost 25 years ago. And I remember they picked me up, man, at the bus station in Edinburgh. And I had nothing, man. Just got out doing 8 years. They got me. It's a long story, but we'll get to that later. So I saw that picture, man. And I'm sitting here. And it broke me, man. God reminded me this morning before I woke up. And I'm so grateful, man, that there's been several times throughout I'm just grateful that he's always reminding me of the good thing that I have now. I am a successful businessman. I worked for a lot of top companies around the valley who handle a lot of finances. I'm a shipper. I import product out of Mexico, and so I've been doing this now. A lot of people would say that I'm somewhat of an expert in certain products and certain produce. Been doing avocados for about 20 years. So I've been grateful. God have a big family. My son right now, the oldest one, his name is Joey. He's actually right now yesterday, he was preaching at my daughter's church in Europe. He went over there to visit, and he just so happened to be there, and they made time for him to preach there at that church. And so this was at the same time that was hitting me this morning as I'm looking at that picture. And so I have my own home now. I have a beautiful wife that I'm about to marry her. It sounds weird, right? But I married her almost 25 years ago. I was in prison. I married her by proxy. I never actually had a marriage. I never actually had a wedding, so to speak. It was just a judge signed out there. They sent me the papers. I was married. I got out. And here we are. So I got to propose to her this year, and next year on my 25th anniversary, or the end of this year, I'm going to be marrying her. And hopefully you guys can attend, man. It'd be nice to have you guys there. My other kids, as I was saying, is Lorena. She's in Europe. That's the second oldest. And then Victoria is the one that's about to get married. And then I have two younger ones, 14-year-old, a 13-year-old, 14-year-old and 13-year-old. And they're all growing up very well. We have our own, I mean, you can imagine. I always used to think about myself back in the day, and as I tell you some of my story, guys might understand what I'm talking about. I remember thinking, even when I was in prison maybe, or I remember always having this vision where you're looking through a window in a living room in Christmas time, and you see the family. You see the kids, you see the dad, you see the Christmas tree, you see everybody there. And I always used to have that in my mind as an impression of a family. You know, like, dude, if I could be there, if I want to be right there. That's what I used to think. And I have that, and even better than you can imagine. It's been almost 25 years as I'm talking to you guys about this. So there's been a lot that has transpired throughout the years in my life. It hasn't been something easy, but it is doable. So now, as you guys kind of know a little bit about me, I mean, my wife right now, she's in the other class. You know, we've been friends. I've been going to church here now for almost 25 years as well. So I'm just grateful to Jesus and what he's done for me in my life. But as I tell you some of that, let me guys just share a little bit about how my life wasn't always that way. I grew up without my mother and without my father. My mother was an alcoholic and a drug addict. I remember growing up, I grew up in a small town, Edcautelsa, so everybody knew each other. Everybody knows everybody. And so you could imagine the stuff that I had to put up with kind of being, I had my mom walking the streets and doing all this stuff. That's all she lived in the streets. And I'm in a small town. Everybody knows who I am. Everybody knows I'm living with my grandma. She's the one raising me. So I had to become this other guy. You know, because you can't take, y luego tenía los primos, I had the cousins in there, so they weren't gonna allow me to be pushed down. They didn't have dads either. They didn't have nobody either. So I was working through a lot of stuff there growing up, and as a kid, can you imagine that kind of stuff? We don't realize that until later on in life. But I grew up that way of, that mindset that you're not necessarily taught, you're just being drug into that. You gotta protect yourself, you can't let nobody make fun of you, you become this person. And so I remember, I don't know, maybe it was about the age of 13, 14, más o menos. You know, we were dabbing in drugs and doing stuff like that, you know, smoking and doing stuff like that on the side. But then when it really got really bad, I remember it was around 14 years old, 13, 14 years old, and my cousin was shooting up. He was shooting up cocaine. And I remember being there, and I was already snorting and stuff, you know, but I wasn't doing that. And I remember one day he was doing it, and I was like, "Nombre, what's up with me?" And he goes, "Simón, hazte pa' acá, doy una." And I remember him fixing it up, man. And when he put it on my vein. And that was it, man. I was already bad enough as it was, man. I was brought into a family. My mother was the youngest of 11. So all my other uncles, 10 of them, uncles and aunts, had their children. And so all their children were kind of successful and doing the right things. They all lived in different parts, and everybody came to grandma's house to visit. Holidays, you know, todos con mamá, todos van a ir a visitar y todo. Y ahí estaba dejando mi mamá, todos los chavalos, todos los niños, que era yo, my sister. It was me, my sister, my brother, and so they just left us there. And so we grew up that way, you know, where now I got the whole family that's not appreciative of what my mom's doing actually to my grandma. So it was kind of like the uncles looking down like, who's this guy? So I didn't really fit in. You know what I mean? Like, who's this guy's dad? And like, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. So that does something else to me. You know what I mean? As you're growing up. And so I became a no good, how Orlando says it, snake in the ground, no good drug addict. I didn't care about my life. I didn't care about what happened to me. All I cared about was getting the next hit, man. And taking away everything that I could see, man. Everything that I was going through. I didn't really tell people about it. I didn't know anything about counter. I just knew about hanging out with the primo and the friends. Go out on my bike, come back till the lights went down. I didn't care about nothing. Next thing you know, I'm catching cases, man, as a juvenile. As a juvenile, I caught a bunch of cases, man. By the time I knew it, I had 30 felonies. So they locked me up, man. Juvenile, I grew up in juvenile. At the age of 14, that was it. I was locked up. Next thing you know, I go to a halfway house. Next thing you know, I go to TY. Next thing I know, it was over, man. I got out. They let me out because I was turning 17. I remember that was the only reason they were going to let me out. Because even when I was in juvenile, I caught 2 more cases that was in there. An escape charge and then another, I don't know if it was burglary of a vehicle or something, man. I did something. So here I am, man. My grandmother. I've been locked up now as a juvenile for a bit. And so my grandmother, I remember being there in the parole board and everything, man, and they're able to be there because I'm still a juvenile. And then, oh, so let them go, okay, this and that. And I'll move. My mom told me, my mom and my uncles, can you imagine all my family? This is the house they built for my mom, my grandmother. I call my grandma my mom. She's going to move everything. We're going to move up north. Si me sueltan. And they said, all right, we'll let them go if you move. And we moved. And they let me go. I didn't last over there, man, a month. Wherever I went, I was with me. I wasn't getting away from me. I was me. They thought they could move me somewhere else and everything. No, it doesn't work that way. You are you. You're going to make things, you're going to make it. It's your world. Caught some charges. Next thing you know, I'm on the run from over there up north. I come back to the valley. As I'm here in the valley, man, as you guys can imagine, things got bad. I caught some charges, man, some bigger charges, some assaults, some robberies. And that was it, man. They had enough. I remember they arrested me. When they arrested me, I was doing a burglary of a building. And I remember I heard the alarm, I took off, and I'm running down 107 on La Blanca Road. I was running down through there. Una tienda que estaba en la esquina, me estaba viendo. And I saw him. I could hear the siren, man. And I jumped in a ditch. Boom, me clavé. Escondido. También volaba, me cayeron. Hey, salte ahí, órale. Me meten al carro. Pum, pum, pum. Solo me estaban preguntando, ya saben qué onda, right? So they put me in the car and they're like, hey, man, how old are you? I said, what's today? Dice el vato, it's July 11th. Era 1 o'clock in the morning. My birthday is July 11th. I'm 17 right now. Dice el guy, órale, vas pa'l condado. In other words, on my birthday, I was baptized, man, right into the county jail. And from that, it was over, brother. Next thing you know, that was in 94. I get home till 2001. Come home 2001. I come out. I try to make it. Didn't work, man. Became fugitive on the run. Caught up to me again. Picked up more charges. But this time it was different. I had met somebody. And I don't know if maybe I didn't want to live. I don't know, man. Just like my conscience, I guess, you know. And I met my wife at that time. And I was like, well, you know, I'm just going back. They got me up there in Brownfield. And I remember being there, man, in that cell, and I get a call, right? They call me, hey, you got a call? So I go over there, and it's her. And I tell her, hey, you know, I picked up some charges again. I was already on the run, you know, from parole. So I already knew, man, you know, I was going to be gone for a little bit, you know. And then she told me, hey, I'm pregnant. That broke me, man. That broke me. That was it, man. I remember after hearing that, I went back into my cell. They had me in a padded cell, man, because up in Brownfield, como yo era fugitive of justice, they didn't have they didn't know how to classify me. So they didn't want to put me with, regular population until they figured me out. So I was just there apenas acababa de llegar. Like I was there for 1 or 2 days, you know what I mean? I wasn't there that long. And I remember I went back in there, man. In that padded cell, man. I didn't have nothing, dude. I didn't have nothing. Nobody wanted me, bro. Nobody wanted my wife, man. I met her family, bro. They saw who I was. Puro murero, you know what I mean? So I walked back to my cell, man, to my padded cell there, man, and I remember I broke down that day, man. And I was talking to God. I was asking him why he had brought me here. Why'd you bring me here? Why'd you even let me be born? What's my purpose here? Like, look at me, man. I'm sitting there, man, talking to these walls, but I'm talking to God. I'm asking him, why am I here? Look at all the stuff that I've done. Look at the people I've hurt. Look at the destruction. I didn't care about how people felt, man. I didn't care. To my best friend, to my grandma, to everybody. It didn't matter. And it's not that I didn't care, bro. It was something inside of me that wouldn't allow me to. I was jacked up, bro. Jacked up, man. Maybe you guys have had it better, or maybe different for you guys. But for me, I made a mess. I made a mess of everything, anything that I touched. And I asked him, why? Why did you even let me be born? Why? Now, another kid gonna be born like me, out there without a dad, without nothing, and nothing again. Like this thing is just gonna keep going and going. And it might sound crazy. I'm not gonna be super spiritual with you guys. But I felt something happen that day. I was so, imagine yourselves, no hay nadie, nobody can hear you. Nobody even knows you where you're at. And you're in a padded cell, and you're broke. What would you be doing? Maybe some of y'all be chilling, hey, a ver qué pasa. And I've been there too. It's not, but what I'm saying is that I asked God to change me that day, man. I didn't want to be this guy. I don't want to be this guy. Help me. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I kind of heard something. I kind of felt something that day. It might have not made any sense to me then. That makes a lot of sense to me now. I came out of that room, man. They took me out. First thing I did when I got to my cell, man, I grabbed the Bible, started reading. But now I was going back. They gave me another 2 years. So I was going to go back. I didn't know how to do time with God because I had done time my ways, so many different ways. I remember going back, man, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna be me. So I made it. I made it through my time. I didn't get into anything. I got out. When I got out, my wife brought me to this church. And I felt accepted, man, for the first time in my life. When I met Orlando, he said a lot of things to me that had never been said to me before. I remember one thing he said to me that I'll never forget. He told me there's so much potential in you. You just can't see it. And we just talked about this a few days ago. There's a lot of potential in you guys. All of you. You guys don't know it. You don't know it. We can see it. You're not alone. I accepted Jesus into my life, and he played the biggest part in my life that you could ever imagine. When he said that he would take you in and be your father, I literally took it. You are my father. You are my father. If God said, if Jesus said, I am the father to the fatherless, who can tell him any different? That's his word. His word says that it doesn't come back to him void. What does that mean? That means when he speaks it, it's like the rain. It goes out. It lands on the grass. It feeds the grass, feeds the crops, feeds everything, and then it evaporates and it goes back to him. But it did the work that it was going to do. Same thing. I am just so grateful, man, that, you know, and for you guys, I mean, you know, I just wanted to encourage you guys, man. You're in the right place. This is, you know, I'm going to tell you guys this, man. I used to get back before all of this transparent, I used to be in county and other places. And so guys would come in to preach or church service. And so my thing was that every time I went up there, the enemy always put stuff in my head. Like, look at this guy. How's this guy going to tell me how, like, this guy doesn't know, like, what I lived through, bro. Like, just good people. This is different. Choose to change was something that God put in Orlando's life, because it's a living testimony of the people that come from the same background that you might have walked through one day. And you look through that tunnel and you can see people like us on the other side. And we're just telling you to come on. Come on. You're going to be all right. You're going to make it. You can make it. I know it feels difficult. I know it's difficult, man. It's not going to be something easy, but it is possible. It is possible. So there's going to be challenges. There's going to be obstacles. But one of the biggest things that's going to start happening in your life is that God is going to, unbelief, when you have unbelief inside of you, it causes you to back up. It causes your mind to shift the way you think. And I just want to encourage you guys, because I don't know if you've made time for God in your life, you know. That's just part of me, of what I'm giving to you guys, that first of all, Orlando, he never gave up on me. He was always there, always giving me the support that I needed. And I look back at our friendship, I know it was God, you know. And sometimes we have to learn. This is one of the challenges that I feel that happens to us, is that we have to accept the change when it's starting to happen in our lives. What do I mean by that? Sometimes God, when you start asking God to help you, sometimes things will start to move out of the way that you don't realize that are bad for you. Sometimes we don't want to let go. That's why I'm saying that sometimes we see the change coming and we're like, man, wait, I don't want to let go, man. I don't want to, you know, you're so familiar sometimes with the way we're living that it's hard sometimes to let go. But I want to encourage you, man. Give the process time. Let it take its course. Keep coming out. And I'm going to give you guys another piece of advice also, man, that was given to me that helped me a tremendous amount in my life. Another saying from them. This thing pushed me through, bro, when I couldn't see nothing, because life has been like that, bro. In my career, that's a whole other challenge, bro. Things are going to happen that are going to make you want to back up, things that we're not familiar with. Bro, I'm in big corporate meetings with these guys that are owners and business people, and all of a sudden everybody's talking, but then they're all like, hey, why are we talking? Hey, Juan Pena, why don't you come up, man, and share something with us? But that's where I'm at. People that want to hear my advice to make choices to invest their money. Do you think I should make this choice? What are you forecasting? What do you see in this market? Do you think it's going to drop? How did you see it play out last year? What's going on? Anything. And I have to be ready for this. But God put me in those situations, and it wasn't easy. I had to learn, and I had to learn how to fail. I had to learn to fail in business in order to succeed. And I know it doesn't sound right, but if it happens, let it play out. Accept it, learn from it. And that's like everything else in life. Because unfortunately, life's gonna play out even whether we like it or not. How we react, how we choose to react to what's happening in our lives, it's gonna make the biggest difference. It's gonna separate you from everybody else. And those are the little things that we have to do. Okay, and I still remember stuff from AA and stuff that me and Orlando used to talk about a long time ago. Like, this was the saying that I was gonna tell you guys. They told me, whatever you do, don't stop coming. Just keep coming out. Keep coming out. Don't stop. This was in church what they told me. Whatever you do, don't move. Let it play out. The thing that happens with me is that I was the type of person I always want to move around. You know what I mean? Not too much in one place. And now, when I talk to people, business people and stuff like that, and they ask me, hey, who are you? What do you do? Or who? And I'm like, I've been married 25 years, been going to the same church for 25 years. I have friends for 25 years. It's like, even business people, bro, don't have friends that long. It's hard for me to, like, what? Dude, I don't even do that. How? It's God. I know who I am. I know where I come from. When I'm sitting and I'm standing in front of these people, I just got back from a world conference on produce. And over there, I have to go through all these things also with people and everything. So I've been elevated to places that I don't deserve. I'm there by the grace of God. And a lot of things have happened in my life, bro, up to this point that I don't understand. But I can tell you, man, if you just keep steady, keep the course, it's going to work out. People always tell me that in business. They call me panicking because the market shifts, and produce, it's perishable. So se va a pudrir. So they have a limited time to either lose. A load of avocados cost you $70,000. So you don't sell it, you're gonna throw it. So you're working with 21 days. You gotta make sure you find a good customer and somebody that's gonna pay. So people call me and they ask me, Juan, I'm worried. What's going on? What's it? Calm down, wait, let me see what I can do to help you out. And because of what I've learned, why did I learn this? Why did I become the man that I am today? First of all, because of Jesus Christ. And second of all, because of men who choose to change. God has given them a blueprint in their hearts to help people. And we have that opportunity to take advantage of that right now. I want to encourage you guys, man. I know it can happen. We'll be talking about this 25 years from now. I'll be, 70, 78? Ya tengo 54, brother, 53. So, sí, gracias a Dios, brother. La pinta nos hizo preserve. So let me ask you guys a couple of questions. If you guys want to answer, that's cool. If not, then we can move along. But what do you guys think has been one of the hardest challenges for you guys so far, right now, for you, brother? Yeah.
Oh, can you hear me?
Huh?
I guess adapt to be a normal citizen of the community, man, because the way I was back then, just like your story, I was almost the same way, probably even worse, man. And I've been in and out of prison, and all the time I went to prison, it's like God would always get a hold of me, you know what I'm saying? But I found it to be that every time I got arrested, I was actually getting rescued, right?
Amen.
So this last time I got out, I was at Segovia unit. There was a lot of smoking in there, K2. The dorms are just weird nowadays. So these people would always come, right? The faith seekers, they'll come and try to recruit people to go to the faith-based dorm. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to the faith-based dorm. So I went in the faith-based dorm, and that's why I started my little journey. That's where I started recuperating what God really had for me, man. And that's when I came out. This time I came out with God in my heart, Jesus in my heart. So that's what I'm pursuing now. And that's the path the narrow path that I want to be on now, because that's probably the most important person that was with me at all the times that I thought I was alone. I was never alone. He was always there with me. So, amen, man. I'm just glad to be here, man. Thank you.
Yeah, bro. No, man. You hit it right on the nail, bro. That's exactly how I think, bro. You know, you're sitting back and you're recreating or going back to situations that happened to you. And then you're like, dude, how did I make it out of there? And you know, man, it was God. You know it was God, man. It was right there. So, yeah, man, that's awesome, man. And I'm also going to share with you guys this story, man, because we're talking about that prison. Me acuerdo, right before they let me out, when I got out and I got in trouble and I had to go back, when I met Laura, my wife, there was a guy that used to come, man. Oh, this old man was on fire, bro. When he would come to prison, he came in one day, bro. And I remember, con los camaradas, los homeboys, hey, vamos para la church, vamos para la church. Ahora salen todas las normas and we meet over there, right? And nos tocó, que me tocó enfrente. Everything was full in the back. So, hey, the only seats that are right there in the front, 3 seats. And it was me and 2 of my friends, man, and we're sitting there. And I had already been there a while, man, and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to this guy, bro. Bro. I felt, dude, this guy talking to me, man. This guy was preaching, bro. And he was talking to me. And I'm sitting here in the middle, bro, of all these guys. I'm sitting there, man, and I'm like, dude, what the heck? Did somebody tell this guy something or what, dude? Like, what the heck? Bro, and he starts telling me, man, he starts offering Jesus, bro. He starts offering Jesus. The love of Jesus, man. What he wants to do for me. For me. And he's talking to all of us. But I'm taking it personal. Bro, it felt like he was reaching his hand literally into my heart and pulling it out. I'm sitting there in the chair, bro. I want to raise my hand, dude. The guy's like, you want Jesus? Así no hablaba bien fuerte el Señor. Raise your hand. Show everybody. And I'm like, dude, I want to jump out of my seat, bro. And I didn't. And I remember one of my friends, man, he looked at me. He could see it in me. He's like, ¿qué onda, Peña? I'm like, no, man. He goes, what's up, bro? You want to go up there? Let's go. I'll go with you. So what everybody says? I'm like, I didn't do it. I didn't do it, bro. Now, we have the opportunity. God's given us opportunity with everybody who's around us. Where we're going to take them. So I always remember that, man, when I'm given the opportunity to talk to somebody. I don't want them to lose out. I know how good God is. Dude, you'll never miss out. He's awesome. And I just want to give God all the glory for everything, and I want to thank God for Choose to Change. I want to thank God for Orlando and Isabel Salinas, and for his family, for all the stuff that they've done. Guys, we have a great opportunity here ahead of us, and hopefully you guys watching us out there, I just want to encourage you guys as well. You know, there's a big opportunity ahead of us, in front of us, to take advantage of this program that God has set before us. So I just want to encourage you, and I want to thank you guys, man, for giving me an opportunity to just share some of what God has done for me in my life to choose to change. Thank you, guys.
Let's give Juan Pena another round of applause. He did a great job. And everything he said was fantastic. It was reminding me of when I first came in to Choose a Change. And something we don't usually do, we don't do an altar call, but when I came in wanting Jesus, and that day they put an altar call. So like Juan says, it's your chance, you take that opportunity. And with that, we'll be closing out. But Orlando will be here next week, so come back, and maybe he'll do an altar call. And thank you all for coming again. Thank you, Juan.